Hi there, it's Quilting Nerd, and if you watched my previous video, you know we quilted this quilt already with a very simple pattern, and the previous video concentrated on very basic use of straight ruler. Today we will continue with quilting of the same quilt while talking about the kind of level 2, more advanced quilting. And for that, I decided first stick to ruler quilting. So using still the straight line ruler and adding something like an orange peel pattern to our quilting. Because we have to work with 4.5 length, it is quite challenging to keep the curve consistent. So it would be nice to have a pattern that it's curved and it's systematic all across the curve. So I would simply have an orange peel going vertically in this arrangement and dot to dot on horizontal lines, seam lines, or the other way around. The point is we should be consistent with the pattern. Now, what kind of ruler I want to use? So I have my clamshell with different sizes. It's a very useful ruler, but for in this case, it's simply not large enough. So this one goes out. Then I have such very gentle curve, but if you will take a look a little bit closer here, let me change the focus here. If I will place it so I have space for my needle on the sides, I will hardly have any curve at all. So this one is also out. This one is too small for the curve that I want to have. So this could be an option, but again, this is an ellipsoidal shape ruler, spindle kind of ruler. But again, it would be kind of a shallow. They would have a lot of unquilted space here. So I restored to I checked my half circle rulers, and they are actually perfect because they have this kind of marking at 45 degrees. And if I will place them on my seam line, then I will have exactly a 1/4 inch spacing here. So I will use this ruler. It is actually 6-inch half circle ruler, so it's 6 inch in diameter, but I can shift it in such a way that I will have a very nice arch quilted, and it fits perfectly. So this is kind of a challenge that it's connected with finding the right ruler for the task. You do not have to have all the possible rulers in the world, but it does help if you have the basic shapes, and then most of the time you can find something that fits to your needs. Let's start with the straight ruler, and for that I would like to use it for subdividing this square by usage of dot to dot line. And for that I would use the ruler, and I would mark points so we can see exactly how much space we would like to reduce it. And I would say we would go 1 inch from the points, so like here. If you're a beginner, this is actually a very nice way to find the spot where you are rotating. So I would mark those dots for the whole row. So we have the orientation points here and here. These are the corners of our on point square we created by quilting the lines. and we will make the markings. My marker is the one that will disappear on its own after some time, so I actually cannot mark all my points at once. They will be gone in a few minutes. And right now I don't know where is my other marker, the blue one. So this being done, where am I? Here, I'm always looking for my gloves. Again, I am starting from the middle. I started already 4 times in the middle. So this is becoming a little bit dense here with the threads. I will have to pull them inside. And dot to dot line is just using your ruler, aiming it that you're creating a space of 1/4 of an inch between your ruler and the dot, and you try to hit it. Then you pivot your ruler and you go to another color. Here already the dot is almost gone, especially that we have a purple background as well. So this is still very easy way of quilting, and you can use this dot. It just enhances the quilting density. You can of course repeat it on the other seam lines going in the vertical direction. This is completely your decision, how you what ruler do you have and what kind of ruler quilting you want to keep practicing. The first round should already give you some confidence in using your straight ruler. I learned that I need 1 or 2 projects to learn if I like. Sorry, again, I'm talking when I'm quilting. It takes me about 1 project to learn if I like a ruler and to learn how to use it most efficiently. So it is perfectly normal that you need time to learn how to handle a ruler. But straight line ruler is one that I'm using most often, together with my half circle rulers. So that's why I would like to encourage you to use those simple basic shapes as well. So you can stick to the straight line ruler, or you can do only the orange peel variations, which I will show you in a moment. So let's continue and quilt a little bit. So here I had to adjust a little bit because I almost missed the point. And here just the technical aspect. It is good to wait before you move your fabric so the needle can run. Otherwise you may end up with a very large first stitch after change of the direction. So now, because our sandwich is fully quilted, that's an advantage of that, you can just rotate it and quilt the other line to the end. So again, I would just take my marker and my normal ruler and mark 1 inch at each point. So I will be doing that as I quilt. So once you learn where those points are that you can aim, this will be not necessary anymore. But especially for the beginners, it is important to have this confidence that you get when your quilting looks good and equal. It's a confidence booster, and it helps you keep quilting. And the more you quilt, more confident you are. And you will gain also a kind of a zen feeling about your small, tiny inaccuracies that only you can see, and that will actually disappear in the quilting later on. So when I use dot-to-dot quilting, I rarely mark my points. I simply would like to give you this option that if you want the more perfect look, then this is the way to do it. Now you have an option. We can travel within the seam, and stitch in the ditch, and just go here and repeat that. Or we can use our round ruler just for a single to jump this one level up, and then we can continue with the straight ruler. And for that, I am positioning my lines, my helping lines, that they are on the seam, and I am holding, let me zoom out, put on the light and change the camera. So right now I am holding my ruler more, that I'm pressing the ruler down than pressing it against the foot. I don't like pressing the rulers against the foot, because then I can put too much strain on it. So I am actually pressing my ruler down with my hand. The other hand is on the quilt, and then I slowly start shifting. And I don't rush, because I don't want to fly into orbit with this one. And in this way I have my first arch here, and then I can move and quilt again the dot to dot design in the next round, without actually having to cut the thread or traveling in the stitching in the ditch. And right now I am trying to actually do that without the marker. I am using on my ruler, I have marking lines every 1/4 inch, and I'm trying to put one of them on the, I'm trying to put the third line from the edge, so 1, 2, 3, that's 3/4 inch, plus 1/4 inch that comes from my ruler, so I'm trying to put it on the point mark, and then I just have to pay attention that I am stopping somewhere here, and then I should be fine. And this is what I meant, that you have to learn your ruler. It's probably a little bit more than 1 inch because I have a tilt. No, it's actually pretty good. It's a little bit more, but it's just maybe like 1/16 of an inch. So we can do that. So this is also, oh no. I just hate when that happens. I just stitched part of my quilt on the back. I didn't notice it rolled out. So it is this line. And in this case, I have to unpick it because it is in the middle. I cannot just leave it here hanging. Otherwise, if it would be just on the edge, I would just cut it away. But I will still cut it, but then I will pick out the line. So this is one of the cases, actually, when I am when I am removing the stitches. So let's do that, and for that it's actually double, so it's bad. It's not happening very often to me, but it does happen. So I am starting to do that from the back. Good that my stitches are here relatively large. Then I can just use my seam ripper and I will correct it in the next go. So it's not a big problem, but it's annoying. I really hate when that happens. It's at the beginning when I started quilting, it happened like to every quilt I've done. So, and now you can see this is the range I have to quilt over once more, and because it's dot to dot line, it's absolutely not a problem. So I will leave this thread and pull it back. I will unpick a little bit here. I hope you can see that. So not really, so let me change that. Yeah, you cannot see that, so now. So I will leave this thread, pull it on the back and secure the stitch, and I will unpick this one a little bit more and do the same. So I just would like to have enough thread so I can make a knot and then cut it off. So I will do that and I will repair it, and then we will be back to quilting the arches. Now we are coming to the edge of the quilt, and this is important, a little bit different. So again, I am moving up to the next row or to the edge of the quilt with help of my round ruler. I will do the zigzag as previously using my straight ruler. Just move into position, and this time I'm using my marking on my ruler to aim to the right position. This is also where this quilting idea is so nice, because it will allow you to learn the extra usage of your markings on your ruler, not only how to use it and navigate around the quilt, but also some shortcuts on how to quilt lines and how to quilt such repetitive dot-to-dot design. So right now we are just moving here to the end, and this 1/4 of the quilt will be almost done, at least with the dot-to-dot lines. We still have the orange peel lines to quilt. So here I can cut my thread, and here I can simply go on with quilting just the orange peel design with my semicircular ruler. I think this quilt would look great just with one of those designs, and mixing is not really necessary. So again, I'm paying attention that my helping lines indicating 45 degrees are on the seam line on both sides, because then I know my ruler is centered and I will land exactly at 1/4 inch from the other side. And then I don't have to worry about the final look. I know it will look very, very good. So I have exactly the same curvature on both sides. Now I'm just moving it systematically down. So you do not have to keep the ruler absolutely still in space in one place, because it's impossible. There is always some small sliding. So that's why I try to quilt slow. So when my ruler will be pushed a little bit more to the side, I can minimally move it up. And just adjust for the shift. And right now, because I quilted the other side with the dot-to-dot lines, again I will just move one row down, and I will continue quilting this one side with the dot-to-dot lines. And like that I will quilt the whole quilt, including the, maybe I will just show you once more the round, using of the round ruler. Now I am just doing that to show you a little bit more of the kind of action here. And here, for example, I have very little space on the other side, so I will have to shift the ruler a little bit to adjust for small inaccuracy in my piecing. And then I can just turn it around or go up, depends. It is a small project, and the advantage of domestic machine is that you can rotate your quilt if it's small enough. For the large one it's a bit of a hassle, but the small ones it's absolutely not a problem. So, and I will just keep quilting the arches to create the orange peel design, and straight lines, zigzag lines to create the dot to dot design all over the quilt. And I will show you how it looks like once I'm done. I will just cut it here and then I will start from the edge. And then of course I will show you or I maybe can show you this one now. I have this place where I sewn the part of the quilt when my quilt simply folded over or folded under, and I stitched it together. That's why I had to unpick my stitches. And now when I see it already and it's so close to my position, I will repair it. So I will simply try and follow the stitch line to the marking point and then back. So I started a little bit over here, over the previously stitched line. I secured the threads previously, and now that should be nice and stable. The same I did on the other side, and now I will just coat it over. So such things happen in domestic machine quilting way too often, but it's not end of the world and you can just repair it. So this is just to give you an impression how it looks like on one side, but I will show you how it looks like when it's done with the second level of quilting. So the phase 2 is finished. I hope you can see it in the slide. We have very nice stars created in each of the squares, and that's the result of the second layer of ruler work. So here we have our dot to dot quilting, and here we have our arches. This star effect would be even more pronounced if you would use the dot to dot quilting directly without switching it to the orange peel design like I did, but I simply wanted to show you the variations and the combinations of the two designs. Each of them would yield really interesting design on its own, and I will try to provide in the booklet both of the options single ones without the mixture. Now it's even better visible on the other side, and it's beautifully, the secondary back pattern is beautifully visible. For all intents and purposes, this baby quilt is finished. It would be very stable, very durable. The quilting already took quite some time, but let me add a third layer to that, this time with free motion quilting, and that I will show you in the next episode from this series. I can assure you that once you will quilt this one with me, you will improve your skills in using quilting ruler a lot, because there is quite a lot of repetitive movement, and it will give you a chance to find out how it is to quilt a little bit bigger project without really risking anything significant. It's a baby quilt. It is designed to be used and loved and not only admired, and for that it is really a perfect quilting practice and exercise. So I hope you will join me in the third installment for the third level of quilting of the same quilt. Bye!